En la clase de hoy vamos a aprender inglés de una manera sencilla y divertida. Vamos a escuchar y leer 4 historias diferentes en inglés. La idea es que te vayas familiarizando con el idioma, escuchando y leyendo todo en inglés. Todas las palabras que no entiendas, escríbelas en tu cuaderno para posteriormente traducirlas. Verás que si eres constante con este método, verás grandes resultados. Sin nada más que decir, comencemos.
In a cozy house on the outskirts of the city, the Garcia family was preparing for their favorite tradition, Family Movie Saturday. Every week, they eagerly awaited this special day, where they gathered in the living room, settled on the sofa with blankets and pillows, and enjoyed a movie marathon while sharing laughs and unforgettable moments. The Garcia family consisted of 4 members: Carlos, the father, a hardworking man and lover of classic cinema; Ana, the mother, a creative woman passionate about adventure movies; and their 2 children, Laura and Diego. Laura, 14, was a curious teenager and a fan of science fiction movies, while Diego, 10, was an energetic boy who adored animated films. On Saturday morning, the family gathered in the kitchen for breakfast. "What movies are we watching today?" Diego asked excitedly as he spread jam on his toast. "I thought we could start with an adventure movie," Ana suggested. "How about Indiana Jones?" "Yes, I love Indiana Jones," exclaimed Laura. "After that, can we watch a Star Wars?" Carlos smiled. "Sure, we can have a Star Wars marathon after Indiana Jones. What do you think, Diego?" Diego nodded enthusiastically. "Great! And after that, can we watch Toy Story?" "Of course," Ana replied. "It will be a day full of adventure, science fiction, and animation." After breakfast, the family prepared for their movie marathon. Carlos made popcorn, Ana made hot chocolate, and Laura and Diego brought blankets and pillows to make the sofa more comfortable. They settled in the living room, turned off the lights, and turned on the TV. The first movie of the day was Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. The family immersed themselves in the exciting adventures of the most famous archaeologist in cinema. Carlos and Ana reminisced about the times they had watched the movie when they were young, while Laura and Diego enjoyed every moment of action and mystery. After Indiana Jones, it was time for Star Wars: A New Hope. Laura was especially excited, as it was her favorite saga. As they watched the movie, the family discussed their favorite characters and scenes. "I love Han Solo," said Carlos. "He's such a charismatic character." "I prefer Leia," commented Ana. "She's a brave and strong leader." "Yoda is the best!" exclaimed Diego. "He's so wise and powerful." The Star Wars marathon continued with The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The family enjoyed every space battle, lightsaber duel, and epic moment of the saga. By the end of the trilogy, everyone was excited and full of energy. To end the day, the family decided to watch Toy Story. Diego was thrilled to see his favorite animated characters in action. "Buzz Lightyear is amazing," he said with a smile. "To infinity and beyond." As they watched Toy Story, the family shared laughs and childhood memories. "I remember when we watched this movie for the first time," said Ana. "It was a magical moment." At the end of the day, the Garcia family felt closer than ever. They had shared laughs, emotions, and special moments that they would remember forever. "This has been one of the best movie Saturdays," said Carlos as he turned off the TV. "Yes, definitely," agreed Laura. "I can't wait for next Saturday." "Me neither," added Diego. "Can we watch Harry Potter next time?" "Of course," Ana replied. "It will be another great adventure." With smiles on their faces and hearts full of joy, the Garcia family prepared to go to bed, knowing that they would always have their movie Saturdays to enjoy together. The tradition would continue, and each week would bring new stories and memories that would strengthen their family bond. In a small town called Villaluz, Halloween was celebrated with great enthusiasm every year. Children dressed up as ghosts, witches, and monsters and roamed the streets asking for candy. However, this year would be different. The legend said that every 100 years, on Halloween night, the spirits of the town's former inhabitants returned to search for something they had lost. No one knew exactly what it was, but everyone feared that night. Maria, a curious 10-year-old girl, had heard the story from her grandmother. Determined to discover the truth, she convinced her friends Pedro and Lucia to accompany her to the old cemetery in town. Armed with flashlights and a lot of courage, the three friends ventured into the darkness. The cemetery was shrouded in a thick fog that made it difficult to see more than a few meters ahead. The trees, with their twisted branches, looked like ghostly figures moving with the wind. Suddenly, a whisper broke the silence. "Who's there?" Pedro asked in a trembling voice. "It's us, the spirits of Villaluz," replied a deep, resonant voice. The children stood frozen with fear, but Maria, with her bravery, took a step forward. "What are you looking for?" she asked. "We are looking for the lost amulet," said the voice. "It is the key to our eternal peace." Maria remembered seeing an old amulet in her grandmother's attic. Without wasting time, the children ran back to Maria's house. They climbed up to the attic and, after searching through dusty boxes, found the amulet. It was a silver pendant with a bright blue stone in the center. They returned to the cemetery and, upon showing the amulet, the spirits began to appear. They were translucent figures with serene faces. "Thank you," they said in unison. "Now we can rest in peace." The children watched as the spirits faded into the fog, leaving a sense of calm in the air. From that night on, Villaluz was never the same. The story of the three brave children became a legend, and the amulet was kept as a treasure in the town's museum. Deep in the Amazon rainforest lived a tiger named Tarek. Tarek was not an ordinary tiger. He had golden fur that shone under the sunlight and green eyes that looked like emeralds. Since he was a cub, Tarek had heard stories about an ancient treasure hidden in the heart of the jungle. This treasure, according to legend, had the power to grant wishes. One day, while exploring an unknown part of the jungle, Tarek found an old map buried under a fallen tree. The map was worn and almost illegible, but Tarek could make out a path leading to a hidden cave. Determined to find the treasure, Tarek set out on his journey. The path was not easy. Tarek had to cross raging rivers, climb steep mountains, and face other wild animals. However, his determination never wavered. After several days of travel, he finally reached the entrance of the cave. The cave was dark and cold. Tarek lit a torch he had found along the way and proceeded cautiously. As he ventured deeper into the cave, he began to hear whispers. "Who dares enter our abode?" the voices asked. Tarek bravely replied, "I am Tarek, the golden tiger. I seek the treasure that grants wishes." The voices fell silent for a moment and then responded, "To obtain the treasure, you must pass 3 tests. The first test was of strength. Tarek had to move a huge rock blocking his path. With all his might, he pushed the rock until it finally moved. The second test was of intelligence. Tarek had to solve a complicated riddle posed by the voices. After thinking carefully, he managed to solve it. The third and final test was of bravery. Tarek had to face his worst fears in a series of terrifying visions. Remembering his goal, Tarek overcame his fears and moved forward. At the end of the cave, Tarek found an ancient chest. Upon opening it, he found a shining crystal. The voices told him, "This is the treasure that grants wishes. Use it wisely." Grateful, Tarek took the crystal and returned home. With the power of the crystal, Tarek wished for peace and prosperity for the entire jungle. From that day on, the Amazon rainforest flourished like never before, and Tarek was remembered as the hero who brought peace to his home. In the heart of a lush forest lived a raccoon named Rocky. Rocky was known for his cleverness and curiosity. He was always exploring new places and seeking adventures. One night, while walking near the river, Rocky heard a whisper in the wind. "Come to the forest clearing," the voice said. Intrigued, Rocky decided to follow the voice. The forest clearing was illuminated by the moonlight, and in the center stood an old oak tree with a secret door. Without a second thought, Rocky opened the door and entered. Inside, he found a tunnel that led to an underground cave filled with ancient treasures. There were gold coins, jewels, and mysterious artifacts. While exploring the cave, Rocky found an ancient scroll. Unrolling it, he saw that it was a map leading to an even greater treasure hidden deep in the forest. Determined to find it, Rocky set out at dawn. The path was full of challenges. First, he had to cross a hanging bridge that creaked with every step. Then, he encountered a group of squirrels who asked him to solve a riddle to let him pass. What has roots that nobody sees, is taller than trees, climbs, and never grows? Rocky thought for a moment and answered, "A mountain." The squirrels, impressed, let him continue. Further ahead, Rocky had to cross a swamp filled with thick mud. Using his ingenuity, he built a raft with branches and leaves to cross. Finally, he reached a hill where the map indicated the treasure was buried. He dug with his paws until he found a wooden chest. Opening it, he discovered a shining crystal that emitted a warm light. Suddenly, a figure appeared before him. It was the spirit of the forest, an ancient guardian who had been waiting for someone worthy to find the crystal. "This crystal has the power to protect the forest and all its inhabitants," said the spirit. "Use it wisely." Rocky, moved by the responsibility, accepted the crystal and promised to protect the forest. From that day on, Rocky became the guardian of the forest, using the crystal's power to maintain peace and harmony. The forest animals respected him and came to him for advice and help. Rocky's adventures became legend, and his story was told from generation to generation. The forest flourished under his protection, and Rocky lived a life full of adventures and friendship.
Espero de todo corazón que esta clase te haya gustado. Si es así, regálame un like y suscríbete al canal, que en verdad me ayudarías bastante. Y para todos los estudiantes que se quedaron hasta el final, les tengo un regalo. Debajo de este video encontrarán una clase de inglés desde cero totalmente gratuita. El link para esta clase estará en la descripción del video o en el comentario fijado. También te recomiendo que veas este otro video donde aprenderás inglés con una historia muy interesante, súper divertida. Entonces te espero ahí, no te lo puedes perder.